It's round 7 of the BMW IBSF Skeleton World Cup. We're in Lake Placid, New York, a snowy Saturday morning in the Adirondack Mountains. Hello everybody, wherever you're watching in Pusey or abroad. I'm Martin Haven, alongside me John Morgan, as we get ready on one of the toughest drivers' tracks, John, on this busy race weekend.
Well, it's a tough driver's track, especially when the weather changes as it has all week. The athletes trained in very cold, frigid conditions, hard ice, and the last couple days, the women's competition yesterday in the bobsled, it was soft ice, and boy, the track, controlled at the start is our Korean friend who's got a lot of track records at the start. But the track built for the 2000 Goodwill Games, it's covered. Look at all the roofs and everything on it. So we have snow conditions out here, and look at their light system on it. This has all been installed in the last couple of years by the Olympic Authority and its track manager, Tony Carlino. But this light provides a better visual for the athletes coming down the track too. This part of the track is called Devil's Highway, and I like to say it's for good reason. Tight, quick turns. That's just shady. The exit is shady. Now into the labyrinth, three-corner combination. Speeds 72 miles an hour. 6 inches with your chin off the ice. Chicane. Okay, now you're only going about 77. Some G's. Look at the head, get forced down. 18, 19. Now you're actually going uphill, and you got to watch out. Going uphill here, you can throw it all away. Antoine Matt, that should be Matt Antoine on the track record. Matt now coaching the U.S. team. Nice to see Matt give back to all the knowledge that he knows. Of course, he won the bronze medal at the 2014 Sochi Games.
Yeah, he was the silver medalist here in the World Cup race 2 years ago. Sun Bin Young is our World Cup points leader by the enormous margin of 1 point from Alexander Tretiakov. He overhauled him last time out. Nikita Tregebov, Axel Jung, Martinsen, Thomas Ducours, the top half dozen in the World Cup. And of those, Thomas Ducours not here this weekend. He's doing some training with sleds and runners in Whistler, building up to the World Championships. And it's a fairly major landmark not to have Thomas Ducours, not since January the 23rd, 2004 has there been a World Cup race without Thomas Ducours. There's his brother Martins. He's a winner here. He won here last year. He's won half a dozen times on this track.
Where has he not won?
Well, he hasn't got such a big streak. He's only won 6 times here, but that does include a World Championships back in 2012.
There's a lot of people that don't have 6 wins total, Mark.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, Thomas Ducours, 118 straight World Cup races, plus 10 World Championships, plus 4 Olympic Games, 14 straight seasons. I was talking to Lisbeth Archer yesterday, who's also missing this weekend. Lisbeth was 9 when Ducours last didn't turn up at a World Cup race. Well, here are the 24 starters who are here. Alex Hansen of Norway first off, Greg West, Anna Mirambel, and the rest will follow in order. And of the 24, only the fastest 20 go through. We've got 2 World Cup debutants in the field. Great Britain's Craig Thompson, Canada's Kyle Murray. And so their first job, like Alex Hansen, will be to make the cut. So here we go with a 31-year-old from Norway, 26th in last year's race, didn't make the cut then, and he's only made the cut in Winterberg so far this season.
496, he's a good starter, and he had a breakout year, got to the Olympics through a qualification procedure in Corksey. You and I yelling at the Norwegian Olympic Committee, they should qualify this guy, but he did. He's a great starter, still hasn't figured out how to take this little tray and get it down these tracks at 75 plus miles an hour.
Well, he's got a great coach in Kristen Bromley, who not only builds the sleds for him, but it's also coaching him. But as you said, it's a balance between speed and control. And at the moment,
that's great right there.
In his 14th World Cup, good run through the chicane. He'll have good ice to work with as well. It'll be freshly prepared from overnight. Getting towards the bottom of the run. Oh, double tap on the wall as he comes up to the line. 55.26.
Bromley, former world champion.
Yeah.
2008.
Yeah, he won everything in the 2008 season. European champion, World Cup champion. And he peaked a couple of years too early, unfortunately.
Besides being a coach, he is a great sled manufacturer with his brother. Well, this is going to be the norm, except you shouldn't come over here. He didn't do too bad. He didn't hit twice. Down here, chin up a little bit as he exits shady. And look at his head down there. There's some good coaching. Look at his head down.
Look at the runners
he knows.
as well.
Yeah, he knows he's got a straight line.
Yeah. All right, well, let's see where that puts him. 55.26 is a couple of seconds off the track record.
Yeah, 2 seconds plus.
Greg West, 33-year-old from the USA, 19th in the race here last year. That's his only World Cup start here in Lake Placid, his 16th World Cup of his career. And watch the fingertip start he uses, just pushing with 2 fingertips. There you go. And he says that puts much less pressure on the sled.
Well, everybody's got their own way.
Yeah.
How do I say, diving off those blocks or starting off those blocks. But Greg needs to start to produce some results.
Yeah, he's been in the teens. He's made the cut at every race this year, 16th, 17th, 18th.
I'm sure his goals are top 10 here on his home track. He's 100th now. That's relative to, he got beat 700s at the start by a fast starting Norwegian.
Now look at this, he gets out of shady. This is the local knowledge. This is his track knowledge helping him here.
He should be 40, 50 hundredths ahead. Hansen at the bottom, minimum.
Nice run through the chicane.
He might be 3/4 of a second. Look at the speed.
Right, good speed. That translates to 70.2 miles an hour. 73.7, Greg, actually 70.2 was Hansen. So, all right, 54.11. Well, that immediately tells us that Alex Hansen is going to struggle to make the second heat. Now, where is that going to leave Greg West? That looked like a nice, neat, smooth run.
Full second off the track record. Knowing who's coming up, I figure that we're going to be into the low 54s. I don't think we're going to see the 53.13 record, which is, you know, we're a second away from that right now.
Well, Greg looked pretty happy with that. He finds it hard to disguise his emotions. Not a bad crossover, just maybe hanging up a little late.
A little higher there above the X-Drive logo. You shouldn't be that high.
But he controlled it on the way out.
Watching, guys, everybody. It's awesome.
All right, he's been a great broadcast partner of mine over the European races as well. Now, in his 81st World Cup start under Mirambel of Spain, the 35-year-old. Missed the cut here last season, but he won in the North America's Cup pre-season last year on this track. He's got lots of knowledge here.
Yeah, just came back out, you know, hasn't been on the tour.
No, he's been
2 events.
injured.
Yeah, he's been 2 events, Eagles and St. Moritz. Missed the cut both times. And he's got some back injuries. And, you know, there's a reason why you might have a bad back when you fly down these little tracks.
He's also spent his summer starting the development for the Spanish Federation. There's a bunch of new young Spanish sliders that he's coaching. We've already started on the junior foothills in the Europa Cup. So he's trying to make sure there's somebody coming up behind him. 8 World Cup starts here, plus 2 World Championships. He was here in 2009 and 2012. 7/10 behind Greg West, so he's ahead of Alex Hansen of Norway. Trying to keep his form.
8600's back. Brother cheering him on. So I think Anders going to be challenged to make the second run also.
Well, 13th here in 2006, a couple of seasons ago, still his best ever World Cup result. So he does really enjoy this track. See where that leaves him. It's going to be right to the end of the run before we really find out who's not going to make it.
Yeah, he was a little low and shady, high in the outlet, so he didn't get that good slingshot effect here. Not bad.
Yeah, nobody's hit the wall yet.
No,
3 for 3.
I think everybody's pretty in control, unlike last Sunday, which was frigid conditions and near track records and training with everybody jogging off the track.
Yeah, everybody praying that they get down. Now then, here is young Felix Kaisinger, our junior world champion this season. This is his 3rd ever World Cup, but look at the leg speed on this kid.
Yeah, here's a telltale sign right here. 480 start. Well, you know, he's 5th in the opening event in Segolda. followed by an 8th in Winterberg, and then he went out. He brought somebody else in to replace him.
Won here in January this year with 2 Intercontinental Cup wins. The 21-year-old from Koenigsegg, only a 10th off the start record, and that's all part of his ability.
Hey, you can start the sled. You have a chance to compete in the sport. He's only 3,200s up. Should have been more. He was 3,500s up the previous clock.
1:12.4, that's decent speed, not quite as quick. Oh, it is a fraction quicker than Greg West,
Yeah,
actually.
coming back down. With that type of start, you can tell this is probably his first time here.
Yep.
But it's showing not being familiar with the track. Oh, he's going to be behind in red numbers. This is pretty amazing.
Well, he won here in January, both Intercontinental Cup races, so he does know the track at least a little bit, enough to win in the ICC, which is the second tier of sliding.
So that tells you about, yes, you have a great start. Boy, do you need some track knowledge.
Yeah, because he went from 3,500s up early on to 1,200s back.
Yeah, he had a 3,500s lead.
Yeah.
Halfway down the track. That tap, that's not too bad up to the top. That's pretty much the norm. Then this is down in the
climbs high. Whoa, look at that. Yeah. Separated from the ice. That wasn't driving off. He fell off there.
And watch that curve 12-13 combination, which gets your attention. Yeah. It catches our attention just doing the replays. Can you imagine being on the sled?
Yeah. Well, Felix Kaysen is the new junior world champion. He is a big future potential. 5th of our 24 starters, Jerry Rice from Great Britain, 28-year-old, has been struggling to unlock the track secrets. 14th World Cup, he's had 5 different races here. 1 top 10 finish this season, that's his career high in Innsbruck, 9th place. 488 start, that's decent.
Greg West didn't have a very good start. 503.
Oh, big hit, and Jerry is already undoing that start advantage out of corner 3.
Start already gone. Now he needs to hold 13th the next clock, or he's going to bleed more. And there it is, gone.
Yeah.
Now the question is, really high there. You can saw the exit, and he tapped coming out. You don't want to tap there. You want to slingshot yourself down at the bottom, and you missed that opportunity in shady.
Late everywhere, 2 big hits through the chicane. This is going to leave him in trouble of making the cut as well.
Could be probably 3rd right in front of Andre Maribel. Bang.
Yeah.
78 barely in front of Anders. He beat Anders Maribel by 4,600 at the start and only beat him by 12 at the bottom.
Yeah.
Jerry's been on the track. I'm surprised. I thought he'd have a little bit better. You can understand Felix Kessinger probably never been on the track till this week.
Right, he won here in January, but Jerry's, he's had half a dozen races here. And
Kessinger?
Yeah, Kessinger won the ICC in January.
ICC, okay.
Yeah, so
look how high that is.
He was just trying to let it go and recover some of that lost ground, but he was late everywhere, wasn't he? Timing is just off. And that's a bit of a smile from Jerry Rice. It's Greg West who leads, 5 down, 19 to go.
Track is clear.
Sunwin Korea only failed to win 1 race that he started last year, and it was here in Lake Placid, the season opener. He was in the silver medal position behind Martin Stukurz, and then he went on to win all the other World Cup races he entered, and of course the Olympic Games. Now let's see what he's got today.
Gold jersey as the World Cup leader. And he does what he usually does, which is post one of the best start times. Now look at his feet together. Watch this Rocket Man form.
Still recovering from surgery on both knees over the summer, so he's not got the speed he would have had. That will come back with a little bit more fitness and recuperation.
800s lead up to 32. Now the perfect exits.
Now this is
see his height here in 12. That's pretty good. That's pretty clean.
At this stage, Kaysinger also led by 3,500s over Greg West. Gave it all away, and that's a mistake in the chicane, but big speed. 119.3, 74 miles an hour.
This will be the leader. The question is, by 40 or 50 hundredths, he'll be 53.60 or so.
Oh, skiddy at the bottom as well.
lost a little time.
Yeah.
53.71 from the World Cup leader, which is what we would expect from the Olympic gold medalist from 2018.
A little under 6/10 off the track record.
Needless to say, he put himself into a legendary capacity in Korea. We knew it. I mean, he was like a robot at the Olympics last year. He was so precise and consistent.
Yeah.
Here, a little got away from him a little bit.
Okay, you see it drifting away to his right and then, oof, hits the wall.
Head way up, toes out. He lost some time there for sure.
And that leaves the door open for his rivals, Alexander Chechkov, Martin Stucors, and who knows who else. The next up, Marcus Wyatt, 27-year-old from Great Britain. First ever World Cup race outside of Europe here today. This is his 10th World Cup start, but he has raced here in North America's Cup and Intercontinental Cup.
7th, 6th, and 8th the last 3 times out, so
yeah.
Marcus is starting to learn the procedure.
6th in Innsbruck, his career best.
Start time decent, speed, 4th best speed in the exit of that curve one. You can have a great start time, but if you don't get on your sled properly and go around that first curve, you can lose your velocity.
Well, one of his teammates who started in the very same input as him, Craig Thompson, also makes his World Cup debut here later on this morning.
He can start.
I know that Mark Wood is watching with the latest bunch of recruits for Team China, who he's now training in Lillehammer. They just celebrated the 25th anniversary of the Lillehammer Games with the King and Queen of Norway.
How do you think Woody's Chinese is doing?
I don't know, but I know his sliders are doing well. This is a nice looking run from Marcus Wyatt, still behind Sung Bin Young of Korea, but pretty smooth. Where's this going to leave him?
Third, right behind West
second
by
back.
1100.
Yeah.
Definitely going to make the cut.
Yeah.
He's 100th ahead of Kissinger, though, from Germany. Wow. Kissinger started 1100. Kissinger had a bad run, for sure, with that start time.
Just kind of got away from it. It's going to be interesting to see how the other 2 Germans fare as well, whether it's something to do with the runner choices in the weather or, you know, you've always got to second guess the weather. It's been so difficult. It's been so different every day here.
The Adirondacks.
Yeah. Oh, look at the big
7-8. 7-8. Look at the skid mark he put up there with his
nice
toes.
work from the replay guys. Well found.
Here, he sneaks through there.
Just gets
They
it
should
through.
outlaw them dark visors. We don't like them. We want to see the eyelids. We want to see how many times they're blinking. Into way.
Track is clear.
Vladislav Heriskevich, the young Ukrainian, 20 years old, in his 13th World Cup start. Now, he has been training gangbusters. Doesn't get away as fast as some of the others. I mean, he is a big unit. He's a mixed martial arts, boxing, karate guy. His only race here was in the World Cup last year. He finished 27th.
I don't think he's going to finish 27th today. He won training. Oh, that's going to kill him. First of all, he's going to have the worst start of anybody.
Touch of time here, 3/10 off the pace. Slides down to the upper straightaways.
But he was flying for training when it was really cold, hard ice, and that favors big mass people. And other than the Grizz from Canada, who's coming up, this is the biggest man in the field. He looks like a bobsleigh.
I was talking to Jeff Payne, and he said, yeah, Vlad has got great runners for the cold ice, and today might just be getting into that operating window. Where is he? 9/10 back.
Well, that's bad start, and then the mistake at the start.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how much mass you have. If you make a mistake in the first 100 meters, although those are pretty good lines there.
Yeah, 9900s back, 118.9 is 73.8 miles an hour. Not far off the speed of Sung Bin Young.
He's hanging in there.
He's really trying to hold his form.
Look at this. Look at him fly in the bottom. Whoa. With that mistake, he goes ahead of it. That means he'll probably make the cut.
Yeah, should do. He only missed the cut in
I think
Innsbruck.
Jerry Rice is going to be right in the bubble. Him and Andres Maribel are right in the bubble, those two. Hansen won't make the cut.
Well, Vlad, his career best result, 9th place, the season opener in Sigulda. He was 12th last time out in St. Moritz as well.
You saw what he did on the bottom part of the track with the speed.
It was the start. He really fought it out of the start grooves. Now,
that's what happened.
Not sure who started in the left groove with the left runner, but look, he's settled, but he's already feeling that it's starting to drift away from him.
Then he's got to go in the middle of the curve and steer hard in the apex of the curve. That's going to cost him.
There's Elena Nikitina and Yulia Kanakina. Nikitina, the joint winner in the women's skeleton race. cheering on their teammate Alexander Tretyakov. Third place here last year. This is his 102nd World Cup start.
481. He didn't match Felix Kessinger. Wow, the Germans got something there. That kid can outstart Tretyakov. Whoa, that's impressive.
Tretyakov is giving away 13 years to him, it's fair to say.
Still.
Yeah.
1300s lead on a guy who's won on this track before, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a number of times.
Yeah. Tretyakov won here 2 years ago, but that's his only win. Sergei Chudinov won here 2010 and 11. Yeah. Chudy won here, but Alex won here 2 seasons ago.
1400s up, but a bad skid, and he got too high in the first part of the hard. See if that's going to cost him. 1400s down to what? Coming in uphill.
Only a fraction behind.
2400s didn't cost him anything. That might be the line. So the second place in the World Cup standings, and it's only separated by 1 point. So this is a battle for the World Cup lead between Tretyakov and Young. And
absolutely,
there's only one more weekend of racing in Calgary, so the World Cup title on the line here today and next week in Calgary. But the lines here, out of 12, everybody's got issues in 12, 13. Here, he drifts a little bit to the left side of our screen. Ooh, that bumps him away. Now he's struggling. He gets a little high. Now watch him go above the drive. I thought he was too high there, but boy, great speed on the bottom, Martin. He went from 1400s to 2400s up.
Maybe he's created a slingshot effect down there that nobody else has found yet. All right, next up, 27-year-old Axel Jung for Germany, 4th in the race here last year. Axel starting his 38th World Cup, 1 win, 8 podiums in his career. He won in Koenigsegg last January, the last race before the Olympic Games.
2 World Cup podiums this year. Surprised he didn't get on a podium in Altenburg, his home track, where there's about 7,000 people wearing his Axel Jung club shirt.
Yeah, he was a little disappointed with that. Only 5th place in the red behind Tretyakov from the start. So what did Jung start? 85. Tretyakov started 81. Axel started 93. Again, knee problems a couple of years ago kind of just took the edge off his burst of raw speed that he used to have.
Sliding into 4th position.
3100s back behind Greg West of the USA. Early start draw, fresh spritz, that really helped Greg West, but he laid down what it would appear was a real smoker.
4600, so that's 3rd.
And across the line, how far? Yeah, 4600
Great
back.
speed.
Greg West in 4th place.
2nd, he ties Tretyakov for speed on the bottom of 74 miles an hour.
Yeah, that was a classic German bottom parcel track, wasn't it? Really digging for speed.
Good. I mean, he's 4th in World Cup points. He's a veteran. He's medaled. He's won. You know, that's what you expect from a guy to find those speed angles on the bottom part of these tracks. You know, this is.
Yeah.
This isn't a trophy for everybody. This is about the best people coming forward.
Watch the ice.
Boy,
oh, that was a big hit.
Listen, going out of sight there is not what you want to do.
Yeah, and you see the ice fly up behind him. All right, so 10 down. Alexander Tretyakov, Sunbin Jung career. Axel Jung ahead of Greg West. We could probably have placed the top 2. Who else are we going to see? Next up, Nikita Tregebov, 11th of our 24 starters, the 23-year-old from Russia in his 30th World Cup. 8th 2 years ago, 5th last year here, his only races on this track. 491, a 10th away from his teammate.
Alexander Tretyakov sits
About the norm for him.
overall in the World Cup Tour. His teammate
Standing on the deck at Sochi the year before the games, Alex complaining about young Nikita. These young kids, he said, they're too fast.
Well, young Nikita won the opening event of the year in Sigulda, and he's 3rd in World Cup points. So, you know, you have a guy who knows how to get down the track.
Yeah, and that was and remains his only career win. I was shocked. He said, yeah, it's my first win. I said, no, it can't be.
Well,
yes,
he's won the junior world title 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
There's that high line we saw his countryman today.
2500's back, 2600's back. He's going to be third at the line.
3200's
wow, he brought that back again.
74.1 ties the best speed on the bottom part of the track with Sun Bin Yun.
Kept the gap down to only 3200s, but you're not going to take a gold medal away with that.
3200s is a long ways away from his teammate. Of course, he got beat by 1000s at the start. That's where the difference was.
A long way away too. I mean, Tretyakov is a couple of steps ahead of everyone.
That's almost the same line, but he got over to the right side of our screen. Forces him to go up high. He's way up there.
Yeah.
And you know that when you're forced over like he was, then you have to enter the curve later than you want to. More steering.
All right, Alexander Tretyakov leads from Sun Bin Yun. Next up, Martins Ducours, the 34-year-old, last year's race winner. This is his 116th World Cup start. He first came here in February 2005.
Oh, I just saw that.
And that is the fastest start, 4.80. He's 34, Kaisinger is 21. He's tying Kaisinger at the start.
Now we talked about how dominant Francisco Friedrich has been in the bobsleigh tour. What is he? It's 21 goals out of 54 starts. What's his record?
He's got 116 starts, 51 World Cup wins.
46% of winning every time he comes out. Come on.
His first win was the 8th of February 2008.
Look at these lines. He's 600s back. He's going to need the speed line. He's not high there. Look at him put his head down on the ice there.
We've got a proper race on our hands. Look at the bullet form and look at the speed of the line.
But he's still back.
Wow.
1100s.
All right, well, his brother is in Vancouver testing equipment for the Worlds, and Martins is doing the same thing here, testing kit every race. Every race.
Best start. That's what I'm shocked at. 34 years old. The field of athletes that have been chasing him for years. Tretyakov is a Russian rocket, always for his start. He's the leader. But Ducours beat him at the start. Watch him put his head down on the bottom part of the track if they get to it. This is up top. Speeds are slow. He's looking here, but in the later pictures, if they let this go through, he puts his head straight down on the exit of this next curve. Watch this. Look at his head. Look at it. I mean, the rest of the way down, he's not looking. Look at that. Come on.
Steering with the head alone. 6 wins out of 8 podiums on this track for Martins Ducours. What a record. Florian Auer, no races here in his career. He's not raced outside of Europe before. This is his 17th World Cup. Well, you can't count Sochi as outside of Europe. 9th in St. Moritz last time out. His best World Cup result. There's Matthias Guggenberger, his coach, yelling him off at the top.
He's doing a little bit better than him and his brother were doing a couple years ago with their father's tutelage.
Developing really strongly.
The history on this, not on this track. His father was on the other track at the World Championships here in 96, or I think 97. So the Auers, the first family of skeleton, really, it's just need the kids to start posting results like the dad did in the 90s.
I think Florian's got real potential. Alex has already retired and gone to a real day job, but Florian got out of the top 12 all season.
Hey, that's much better results than he had in the previous couple of years.
1:15.3, that's decent speed. He's not going to match Tretyakov, Ducours or Yun. Let's see if he can make it into the top 10 ahead of Great Britain's Jerry Rice. 13th at the line.
Good. He's probably not going to make the cut there.
He's not raced here before, so he's had half a dozen trips, maybe 8 trips in training, including paid training. Whoa, careful there.
He knows.
Still Alexander Tretyakov of the Russian Federation sitting in first place, followed by Martins Ducours.
Look at him.
Well, you know,
this is it. I mean, this doesn't help at the
first time you're at every track is the first time you're at every track, and you've got to learn. There's no substitute for times on ice.
Practice, dragging his toes there, now looking up. Oh boy, what have I got myself into here?
He knows the chicane is coming, and he knew he was going for the big hit. Oh, he's a disappointed boy. Next up, 22-year-old Russian Vladislav Marchenkov, his 12th World Cup start. He has raced here before, 11th in last year's World Cup. He also did NAC and ICC here.
Ninth in the Winnipeg. Top 10 finish. Doesn't get the start that his teammates get.
Back by a third of a second off the
See if he taps the wall on the right. Normal.
Didn't race in Samoritz. He was off at the Junior Worlds.
Half second back. About 11th position. Shady coming up there. Ooh, too much curve on the exit of 7 to 8. And he's really low there, which is why he taps the wall on the exit of Shady.
Yeah.
So he's eliminated the ability to accelerate on the exit of that halfway part of the track.
Struggling for control here, but he's gone from the 11th
Yeah, he's got a
fastest start up to 9th spot.
This might be one of the examples of smooth rides might not be fast rides.
Well, we saw a wild ride from Elena Nikita there in the women's skeleton race. Put her on top of the pile. That's not bad.
Not bad. 11th best start, 9th best downtime. Compared to Florian Hour, just came down with the 12th best start,
Might
14th
be
best finish.
2 or 3 other top 10 potential sliders, but Marchenkov, I think he's going to win the first heat in the top 10.
I don't know about top 10, but maybe.
Well, Florian now at the tail of the field, Alex Hansen and
Kyle
Amber
Brown,
Mirambel.
Christian Grothier. There's 3 good sliders right there.
A little untidy at the top of the track, some of the crossovers.
Tap, that's costly. Speeds are slow.
First of our World Cup debutants next up, 26-year-old Great Britain slider Craig Thompson. Second in the Intercontinental Cup, the second tier of sliding at the end of this season. He's raced here in ICC and North America's Cup. His race debut was here just 3 years ago. Started with Marcus Wyatt. Now he makes his World Cup debut.
Should be in the 80s. There it is, 82. Great starter.
Start.
Head up.
Is
Look
a
at his
great start.
head's up there.
little bit of a tap there and a curvy one's going to cost him.
Again, doesn't have the experience, but when you can start the sled like that, you've got a chance.
Former soccer player, he said he scored on his debut at every level in soccer. Let's see if he can get one in the back of the net here. 4th fastest start, he's 8th midway down the run. Now, if he can post a top 10 run on his first World Cup trip, that will really release some of the nerves.
Hanging in there, 8th, 9th.
I can just imagine Woody yelling at the television somewhere in Lillehammer going, "Come on, son." That's nice, smooth lines.
Watch out here in the exit. Whoa, he hangs in there. 10th. That's decent. That's decent.
Take that every day of the week. That's a really nice run from Craig Thompson. Woody, another one of Woody's wonders, doing you proud.
Oh, he'll take that.
And he's 10th. Jerry Rice in 12th place. Marcus Wyatt in 7th.
I'll go on record next week. I bet you he's 7th or 8th minimum in Calgary next week with that start time.
There's the smile. Well,
Oh, that's way too high there.
Yeah.
Exit of 3 to 4. Too much pressure. And then down here in the chicane, he goes out of sight. You don't want to go out of sight in that chicane because then you got to slide left to right and skid across the ice like that.
say hi to Dom Parsons, by the way, celebrating 12 months since he won his Olympic medal. It's a good day. Next up, Dave Krejceshin of Canada. We've got 15 sleds down, only 5 spots left in the race. Wife Jess will be cheering along at home with baby Aurelia.
Ooh, drifted, tapped. Grizz can't make mistakes like that. He's already got deficient start time, but good slider, good glider.
13th here last year. Best on this track, though, 8th place in 2014's race. 43rd World Cup start for the Grizz. And right now, off the 12th fastest start in 13th place. Needs a nice, quiet trip down the bottom of the track.
Well, he's on 13th now, which he needs to improve that. That's going to put him right in the bubble.
118 kilometers an hour, not bad speed, up to 11th place, challenging for the top 10. Again, long tracks like this really help him.
Bang, 10th. Good, experienced lines on the bottom part of the track from the Canadian athlete we call the Grizz.
700s ahead of Craig Thompson. Vladislav Marchenkov in 9th. And he is 1100s behind him in 10th.
12th best start, 10th best finish. Give him a 5th or 6th best start, he'd be up there in the medals. He's got the experience. He's also got the height. He might be the tallest guy in. I mean, him and the Russian guy, Tregabov, I think, are the tall. Trechkov's pretty tall
as well. Yeah.
Love you guys.
And we'll see the family next week in Calgary. Kyle Brown, the 29-year-old from the USA, 12th World Cup start for him. Raced here, not last year, but a couple of years ago in the World Cup. He's done NAC, ICC, and his World Cup best result, 6th position finish, was here in January 2016's race, his only previous World Cup race here. A lot of noise at the top of the track from the US fans.
Concord, New Hampshire guy, went to Springfield College. He was a guy who played all of the sports. Should do well on his home track. 495, 10th best start. He has not had a single-digit placing yet, but he is the highest ranked American in 12th place.
Takes the hit that everybody does early on.
400s down. Now he should probably keep that under 40 by the next clock, because he knows the lines out here. There's the 40, so that's almost stopped the bleeding, but he makes a mistake there.
But he got away without a big hit on the wall.
Still the wrong exit, the slingshot out of Shady.
Up to 7th place on the splits. Good looking run from Kyle Brown.
Head down, look at the head down.
Gets a little nudge that puts him, but
that's good speed.
Back online.
Yeah, it's good speed right there too.
This could be top half dozen for Kyle Brown. Nice looking run, late in the field. Hits the wall, it is 6.
Right ahead of his teammate by 1600s, which is about where they are in the standings. Greg West is 15th in World Cup points, Kyle Brown in 12th. Here they are on their home track, 6th and 7th.
Greg West still in the top 10 after that first run. So Kyle Brown, best World Cup result ever, 6th position here 3 years ago. And he's in 6th place at the moment. And there's maybe a couple, but no more than that, that could also get in the top 10.
We're almost starting to talk about the bubble.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Anders Mirabel pretty quick on the bubble. Ooh, a little high there, and watch them come out of Shady and tap the wrong,
Got
tap the
away
wall
with
there.
it, though.
Well,
Barely touched the wall.
still the wrong way to exit Shady.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. Love you guys.
Love you too, Kyle. Next up, Christopher Grothair of Germany. 10th place last year, the 26-year-old. His 41st World Cup start. He has 1 win. Altenburg last season. 494. That's a good strong getaway from Grothair.
He's talented. 6th last time out in St. Moritz. 4th on the Innsbruck track.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's a veteran with World Cup podium finishes, and
best result here, 7th place in the January 2016 race. And Christopher Grothair from 10th at the start in 7th place now. So splitting the American sliders. Up to 5th on the splits. This is a good looking run from Grothair. This is really typical of him. Quiet.
Experienced.
Yeah.
Speed.
Looks
Excellent.
like nothing's going on. Bit of early height there, but he controls the exit. Diving down through the heart.
He gets through the straightaway. Look at him put his head down.
5th at the line. That's
Whoa.
a good run.
When you have the 10th best start time, end up 5th, that's called somebody who can drive with experience.
There's one of the kids here from the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Big sliding fan. Comes from Florida, I gather. Come out to the winter for the first time.
Hey, that's some good run. He comes 18th off the top of the track. Doesn't have the fresh track to work with. And have a start time in the double digits and the finish time. When you go from your start time and you have it from 10th like to 5th, that's pretty good.
Ahead of teammate Axel Jung by 5.
Watch the transition here. Way up high there above the X drive.
Half a second back, 14th at the start, 14th on the splits. Well, the track's holding up well. We can just see from Christopher Grohair last sled down. You know where to find the speed. It's still there in the ice.
Yeah, he showed everybody that there are some fast lines out there.
Boyer drifting away. You can still see so much shine on the ice. That spritz is holding up well.
Pretty good line. Head down in the chicane.
Steering hard with the knees,
yeah,
though.
a lot of noise. A lot of noise. When you hear noise, noise is friction, loss of
17th
energy.
at the line, so he's ahead of Ander Mirambel. No, he's not. He's behind
by
Mirambel.
7. I think that's going to put Ander.
So Boyer, Hansen, and Auer are the 3 last sleds. Kevin Boyer, well, Ander Mirambel almost guaranteed to make the field.
Yeah, one more.
There's 24 starters, and only 20 go through. And that puts Boyer in the drop zone.
I don't think Timmings will get him.
We've got a couple of very young sliders coming up.
Yeah. Look at the head down, though. Like
As ever.
That was pretty good lines there. Nothing wrong with that. And that beautiful helmet. Look at that.
As ever, yeah. Bank of Mum and Dad. Every athlete's greatest sponsors and supporters. Well, the very aggressive-looking helmet of Austin Florian, the 24-year-old World Cup rookie this season. This is only his 5th World Cup start.
U.S. team really high on his ability to start the sled.
Well, listen, he's a driver as well. 9th in Altenburg, his first World Cup there. That shows that he knows how to get speed out of a track as a driver. So what's he got at the start? If he can get sub-5, then he's got a real top 10 shot.
Went to Clarkson University. That's great. Went to Clarkson, which is about an hour from here, it's an engineering school. He was an alpine ski racer. Southington, Connecticut. Hey,
really laid down a good run here.
He's got some high hopes from this athlete because he could start the sled.
Yeah, his first race was in Winterberg. He was 19. He was really down. I said, you're kidding. You made your cut on the World Cup debut. You know, what's not to like? Then he went out and went 9th the next week. You can't argue with that.
Well, when you're a successful athlete from another sport, you want to just take that success into your next sport. Pretty good. Top 10 at the moment.
Yeah, 8th place. Let's see what he's doing.
He doesn't have the experience and the speed lines down the track. Let's see if he can get through without hit. Barely. 9th. So he's behind his, he's behind his 2 teammates.
All right, but he's in the top 10.
Top 10.
Yeah.
So the U.S. has got 7th, 8th, and 9th, and they're separated by 700s.
That's a pretty good spread of grouping, isn't it?
A race within a race.
Yeah.
And don't think that they aren't thinking of this tough in the tour about being the top American.
First and second in the NAC races here last January, so he's got good winning experience on the track. Look at that helmet. Isn't that fabulous?
He's got the 6th best start. The other 2 American sleds, the 12th and 14th best starts.
A couple years more experience, he could be a real threat. Next up, Wengang Yan. Gung is here as well. Wancheng Gung, who's normally their World Cup star. He's here this weekend, but it's Yan's turn to use the spot.
Jeff Payne right there, the Olympic silver medalist from Canada at the 2006 Winter Games, and one of the most exciting silver medals I ever saw. He was upside down almost in the final curve and still hung in there to win a silver.
Took medals on this track, but never a winner. We won't be able to say that when we get to Calgary next week.
He won there 3 times.
Jan has started in Samaritz and Koenigsee last year. This is only his 3rd ever World Cup start.
Jeff Payne, the guy responsible for the one-handed start.
Yes.
Right. So the one-handed start we all see. Jeff Payne, the Canadian, created that back in the early 2002, 2003. Everybody used to start two-handed.
Yeah, like pushing a wheelbarrow.
So show, give Jeff some adieus.
15th at the start, 16th at the moment for Jan. I think he's driving himself into the field. Doesn't panic as he gets the line.
He's doing
into
good.
the chicane.
16, 14.
Good form.
We saw him, came out of the World Championships in 2016 in Koenigsee. We were impressed with him.
Up to
13. Look at that.
13th at
That's
the
pretty
line.
good. There's Jeff Payne.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff will have his name forever on the guy that created the one-hand start.
Yeah.
Skeleton. It's almost like the Fonsbury flop in high jump, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody used two-handed starts.
Yeah.
second place in Yun
And we better double check with that, otherwise Duff Gibson will be yelling at the television.
It just sounds good. It just sounds good, Martin.
I think you are right. I think it was Jeff Payne and not Duff Gibson. But, well, there's Jan making the same mistake that everybody makes.
Pretty good, though. 13th place. China.
Yeah.
China's going to be good at these sports.
Again,
they're coming.
Yeah,
they're
Mark
coming.
Wood's got another group of them coming up as well. Well, from China to Australia, Nick Timmings, the 28-year-old, raced here last year in 29th spot, didn't make the cut in a huge field.
Alex Hansen is on the bubble. Florian Auer was the first one bumped out. Only
his 8th World Cup start. His last was December 2017.
Nice to wear his brothers. We spent a lot of money on equipment this year in travel, so it's my turn.
Back home in Australia, enjoying the winter. 5:04, that's not a bad start. We just saw Jan drive himself into...
Much better start than he had last year.
Yeah. 13th place for the Chinese off a similar start. Let's see what Nick Timmings has got.
It's by our current leader, Alexander.
Yeah, brother Dean. They went to school with Australia's Formula 1 driver Daniel Ricciardo, same school as him in Western Australia.
He hung it there on the exit of 7.
But didn't get a big skid going, whereas he in the splits 19th off the 15th place start.
This is where he needs to have the perfect chicane. And then isn't perfect, and he's 20th right on the bubble.
All right, so it is him or Alex Hansen of Norway. They've spent a lot of time training and traveling together.
20th.
And he's in, and Hansen is out.
By 800s.
So Kevin Boyer 19th, Nick Timmings 20th. Andy Mirambel is in the race. There are 2 behind him, and only 2 more sleds can go. So he is in. But the balance of power between Kevin Boyer and Nick Timmings, and then the remaining 2 athletes, Joe Cicchini and Kyle Murray for Canada.
A little bit of a flop out of curve 2. Costly sets him up into 3. Everybody used to hit out of their curve. He didn't. Down in 7, he just was late.
Yeah.
But hey, listen, every time we saw him in the past, he was last. So he's improved here a little bit.
Yeah, more ice time.
What's up, everyone?
But again, they're funding it themselves.
Nice
Joe Cicchini
helmet.
for Australia, for Italy. 36-year-old Calgary cop. His 25th World Cup start. His World Cup debut was here in December 2013.
I'd like to go back to find a race where Joe was healthy
at
the start. He's always got some back or hamstring issues.
Well, I think he's already looking to a future where he's not sliding, but he's coaching. He started a sliding club in Calgary called the Snipers. They've got 24 kids sliding on the track in Calgary.
What you need, that's what you need, is people like him to take their retire and take their career into development.
Him and Michaela Widmer are doing the coaching. Hi, Michaela. So we'll see them supporting Joe next week in Calgary. I don't think he's doing another 3 years. Here we go. Shoots the chicane nicely, but he's in 21st place. He was briefly ahead of
He can bring it back. He knows how to get down the track. Just gives up so much time at the start. He's got to hit a home run every time. 19th. That's what he just knocked out.
In, and Dean Timmings is out.
Wow. Look at he found a way on the bottom part of the track with his experience.
Sorry, Nick Timmings, not Dean Timmings. Dean is back home. So Nick Timmings is out.
Kevin Boyer on the bubble now with his teammate. There'll be a Canadian here. Kyle Murray's coming down, and Kevin Boyer's on the bubble.
Well, Joe getting some high fives there.
He should.
Yeah.
That's great. You know, when he's wounded.
Yep.
And Buddy found, look how much confidence he's got. He's got his head down. Look at that helmet. Look at that. Look at us.
Still working full-time for the Calgary Police Department. He's got a new job this year on their mental health team.
Snipers, Mom.
There you go. There's the Snipers. Oh yeah, hi to Fruitvale, BC as well. And our final slider makes his World Cup debut. 29-year-old Canadian Kyle Murray, the stand-up comedian and 400-meter sprinter. So he's not only a comedian, he's also a masochist, clearly. Started competing about 3 years ago after sliding just for fun.
14th best start. If we can bring it down to 15th or 16th place.
Well, we haven't seen him before, but he's already raced 15 different times this year. So he's got North America's Cup and ICC experience on this track. So 14th place at the start, 14th place at the moment. On the bubble is teammate Kevin Boyer.
Just went to 19th.
Ooh, well, that's a little skiddy as well.
Needs to be perfect here.
No,
Boy, is he close.
22nd place. No, Boyer is in. With the experience, you'd expect that to be the way the cookie crumbles. But for Kyle Murray, our debutant from Calgary, at the line, 23rd place ahead of Florian Auer, doesn't make the cut on his World Cup debut. Interesting to see how he goes in Calgary next year. Like I said, started just recreational sliding, and then 3 years ago decided, I might just try this as a sport. So here he is, 3 years later in the World Cup. So Florian Auer, Kyle Murray, Alex Hansen, and Nick Timmings are the four who don't make it through. And despite a good start, Kyle Murray just didn't have quite the control he needed on this Lake Placid track to make it into a packed World Cup field. But he's made his debut, so the nerves and the cameras and all of that stuff will not be a factor next week in Calgary. Not a factor either for the experienced sliders at the top of the field. Sunbin Young third, Martins Ducours second, but Alexander Tretikov, the winner here 2 years ago, is our first round leader. Can he claim another medal? He was in bronze last year. He's had silvers, bronzes, and one sole win here in Lake Placid.
The Russian rocket.
Can he make it win number 13 of his World Cup career? Well, Martins Ducours 1100s back will be trouble. Sunbin Young 2400s back might be trouble. Tregibov might threaten for the medals, but you've got to think otherwise. Christopher Groh here, Axel Young, Carl Brown, Greg West. There's some really good looking battles shaping up. The two Germans, the three Americans. Kaisinger there as well, inside shooting distance of Marcus Wyatt, just 100th behind him. And at the tail of the field, Kevin Boyer does get to go again. Nick Timmings, Alex Hansen, Kyle Murray and Florian Auer join the fans trackside for the second and deciding heat. And that will be coming up in a little over 35 minutes from now. Join John Morgan, the IBSF TV crew, and me, Martin Haven, for the second heat. The sleds will be on ice at 10:30 local, 15:30 Greenwich Mean Time. We'll see you then. Bye for now.